love to wake up in the morning, but keep dreaming without wording. The day is gone. And sometimes I take a walk, then I forget about the clock. I can slow down. My friends are sitting laughing, but I just keep on napping. They're knocking on my door, but I'm knocking them down. They say I'm acting crazy, but I just wanna lie in the sun. Whoa, lie in the sun. Now I've been to many places and won so many races. I was a child, yeah. But now my only when is now, and my only where is when I'm by your side. My friends are sitting laughing, but I just keep on napping. They're knocking on my door, but I'm knocking them down. They say I'm acting crazy, but I just wanna lie in the sun. Lie in the sun, yeah. Lie in the sun, yeah. My friends are sitting laughing, but I just keep on napping. They're knocking on my door, but I'm knocking them down. They say I'm acting crazy, but I just wanna lie in the sun. Whoa, I just wanna lie in the sun. Yeah, lie in the sun. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. My friends are sitting laughing, but I just keep on napping. They're knocking on my door, but I'm knocking them down. They say I'm acting crazy, but I just wanna lie in the sun.
Are you ready, dear? Oh, we must be sure there's no turning back once we're out the door. Leave your message here on the telephone, 'cause we've no idea when we're coming home. Any place we wander to, any season we go through, I'll be fine as long as I'm with you. Heaven knows, heaven knows. Running round the world with you. When you smile, I smile too. How I ever made it without you. Heaven knows,
always awkward.
And blurry.
And
There you
blurry, yeah, there you are.
What?
What?
What? Hey, everybody. I'm wearing overalls today so that I can feel 12. Do you feel 12 when you wear overalls? This is the question I have for the people. We're doing collective conversation right now. I would like to know.
Do you feel
Do
12?
you feel 12 when you wear overalls? This is my question.
I'm
Hi,
wearing my I want to be
I'm from Rainy
a retired actress in Palm Springs outfit.
Yeah, I love that whole vibe.
I want to be in rainy
I was
Sweden
gonna wear my
right
rainbow
now.
caftan, but
Yo,
I burned it.
do you want to be in rainy Sweden right now?
Like with an iron?
Yeah.
It's
well, with a
autumn in
hairdryer.
Sweden and it's rainy. Do you want
Yeah,
to
I
be there?
very much
Yeah,
wanna be
I do want to be there.
They're too
Except
busy talking about
I-
my
no,
collective
let's not.
conversation question. I moved on to rainy Sweden, but they're back there talking about
I
clothes
burned
and
it
things.
with my hairdryer, trying to get a wrinkle out of it.
It's only 80
I ordered
degrees here.
another
Yeah,
one.
totally. We're having fall here too. It has dropped to 85 degrees instead of
Yay!
120.
No, things we celebrate.
Goodness gracious. Oh, yep. Chilly UK autumn. More of that. Y'all, I want to be with you. Hi, Laura. I love when people stop in and are like, can't watch for long, but I'm here to say hi. I love that you stop in and say hello. Hi, Lisa. I miss you. Y'all are fun. I'm glad you're here. And if you're strangely hopping into this thing we do for the first time, we're Sojourn, and we do wholeness and emotional connection with each other on Sunday mornings, and it's good times. And we ask you, do you feel 12 when you wear these? Love you.
Always feel 12 years old. Just always. All the time.
La 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 la. Ooh, oh, ooh, oh. La 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 la. Ooh, oh, ooh, oh.
We are searchlights we can see in the dark.
Ooh, oh, oh, oh.
We are rockets pointing up at the stars.
Ooh, oh, ooh, oh.
We are billions of beautiful hearts.
Ooh, oh, ooh, oh.
Just sold us down the river too far.
What about us? What about all the times you said you had the answers? What about us? What about all the broken happy ever afters? What about us? What about all the plans that ended in disaster? What about love? What about trust? What about love? La 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 la. Oh, 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 oh. La 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 la. Oh, 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 oh.
Problems that wanna be solved. We are children who need to be loved. We were willing, we came when you called.
But you fooled us. Enough is enough. What about us? What about all the times you said you had the answers? What about us? What about all the broken happy ever afters? What about us? What about all the plans that ended in disaster? What about love? What about trust? What about love?
Sticks and stones, they may break these bones, but then
I'll be ready. Are you ready?
it's the start of us waking up. Come on.
Are you ready? I'll be ready. I don't want control, I want to let go. Now it's time to let them know. What about us? What about all the times you said you had the answers? What about us? What about all the broken happy ever after? What about us? What about all the plans that ended in disaster? What about love? What about trust? What about love? What about trust? What about us?
We both did a very dramatic page flip.
Oh, did we? Well, that's a very dramatic song. So
What about that page? There it
if we're not going to bring the drama, then what are we even doing?
I'm flipping pages. Turning over tables, flipping pages.
Turning tables and flipping pages. Well, hi, welcome. Kate already welcomed you, but we're also going to welcome you. And so you did it. You're here. You're part of the thing. There's nothing you have to do. No checklist. You're just one of us. One of us. Is that weird? Is that culty?
A little. Yeah, a bit.
All right.
Maybe do like
We
this.
love you.
One of us, one of
Oh,
us.
no, that's culty.
Scary. Now we're going to lull you into a trance with this calm, meditative song. Don't worry, this will be fine.
Best drag name ever.
I was born to laugh and learn to laugh through my tears. And I was born to love. I'm gonna learn to love without fear. Pour me a glass of wine, talk deep into the night. Who knows what we'll find? Intuition, deja vu, the Holy Ghost haunting you. Whatever you got, I don't mind. I was born to love. I learned to laugh through my tears. And I was born to love. I'm gonna learn to love without fear.
For the one who is exhausted. When the rhythm of the heart becomes hectic, time takes on strain until it breaks. Then all the unattended stress falls in on the mind like an endless, increasing weight. The light in the mind becomes dim. Things you could take in your stride before now become laborsome events of will. Weariness invades your spirit. Gravity begins falling inside you, dragging down every bone. The tide you never valued has gone out, and you are marooned on unsure ground. Something within you has closed down, and you cannot push yourself back to life. You've been forced to enter empty time, The desire that drove you has relinquished. There is nothing else to do now but rest, and patiently learn to receive the self you have forsaken in the race of days. At first, your thinking will darken, and sadness take over like listless weather. The flow of unwept tears will frighten you. You have traveled too fast over false ground. Now your soul has come to take you back. Take refuge in your sense. Open up to all the small miracles you rushed through. Become inclined to watch the way of rain when it falls slow and free. Imitate the habit of twilight, taking time to open the well of color that fostered the brightness of day. Draw alongside the silence of stone until its calmness can claim you. Be excessively gentle with yourself. Stay clear of those vexed in spirit. Learn to linger around someone of ease who feels they have all of the time in the world. Gradually, you will return to yourself, having learned a new respect for your heart and the joy that dwells far within slow time. Why'd that happen? That was weird.
Put your elbows on the table. I will listen long as I am able. There's nowhere I'd rather be. Secret fears are supernatural. Thank God for this new laughter. Thank God the joke's on me. 'Cause I was born to laugh. I learned to laugh through my tears. And I was born to love. I'm gonna learn to love without fear.
We've seen the landfill rainbow. We've seen the junkyard of love. Baby, it's no place for you and me. I was born to laugh. I learned to laugh through my tears. And I was born to love. I'm gonna learn to love without fear. And I was born to laugh. I learned to laugh through my tears.
and who's the loser? That's the question. What's the yes?
It's unclear. We didn't actually discuss.
Are you insinuating it could be?
It depends on what the questions
maybe
are.
you lost right now.
I
That's
won.
Sad.
I literally won. I
Yeah, she
crushed
rocked
the
my
scissors.
That was funny though. Okay. I don't know. What do we got?
How come it's Rochambeau? Bye. I hate this chair so much.
It just makes you all of a sudden be going. And then you have to row yourself. Oh, you can't though.
You can go all the way around.
It's fine.
I feel like this chair just like
It's fine.
it doesn't move until like right at the moment where it would bother me the most, and then it's like bye, time to go. Anyway, why is it Rochambeau for the rock paper scissors? Anybody know?
I actually don't know what you're
Row makes
talking
sense.
about.
People call this Rochambeau, rock paper scissors.
Row
They
Sit.
do?
Yeah, Ropassis.
Where have I been? Living under a rock.
Or a paper, or a scissors.
I'm living under scissors, you guys. I don't know.
It's a way to live.
Hey, if anybody would like to submit a prompt, a
Oh, yeah.
question, a collective
Ooh.
conversation thingy,
I like how
for
much.
us to
I like how much
dance.
you trust these people.
I
I
trust
don't know
you.
if I trust them that much. We'll see.
I also have a lot of power with my button over
That's
here,
true.
so it's not as much about trust as it is. I don't have to put their question up.
That's
Anyway, I guess no matter what, everybody sees it though, huh? And I can interact with it.
What's your favorite story?
I just feel every single one of these I pull up.
What's your favorite? I like how that could go lots of different ways.
That could.
What is your favorite? Yeah, what's your favorite story? It could be a
Thanks,
fictional
Shane.
story.
Yeah, you can go anywhere with
It could
this,
be
huh?
a true story of something that happened to you, or a true story that happened to someone else, or it could be an entire television show series arc. That's your favorite story. Gilmore Girls could be your favorite story.
I have so many favorite stories. I have to pick one.
Is it the starfish story?
Nope.
No.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
It made a difference.
One of my favorite stories ever, and has been for the last few years, is the story of Lilith. Remember when I discovered Lilith? I didn't know she existed, and then I discovered her, and I've been obsessed ever since.
Hard not to be.
I almost actually brought that children's book because we're going to do Kids Corner in a little bit,
The Lilith
and I almost brought the Lilith book,
yeah.
but I did not. Maybe next week. People are responding.
Yeah.
What are your favorite stories?
Here. A good
15 times? That's amazing.
It's a lot of times. It's diligent
The
reading.
Magician's Nephew. I love that one too, Laura. Many people don't realize it exists, but it is number 1 in the Chronicles of Narnia and of Green Gables.
I think mine is O. Henry's Gifts of Magi.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to learn it when I did competitive storytelling in college. No one's surprised. And I learned that one, and I can still tell it at Christmas parties. It's a nice trick. But it's a really nice story.
It's a nice trick.
It's a well-written story.
I just find it fascinating that it feels like we've done all of these when this is a lot of cards. I guess we're here often, but this is a lot of cards to have gone through all of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of them are kind of similar, too, and I think that probably trips us off.
maybe.
Mark says that Rochambeau is a French general. Rochambeau.
It doesn't make it make any more sense.
That makes it make
Mark,
less sense.
Please draw
actually.
the connection between
I
this
was waiting
truth
for
and the
each of
question
those.
that we asked. We appreciate this fact. How did it become the name of the thing? Someone Google that. All right, that you're just doing an inquisitive face. Got it. Poisonwood Bible. That was a good one.
Oh yeah, I want to put more people's things
Yeah.
up.
Anne of Green Gables. Did you see that? Yeah, you must have.
Yes.
Lord of the Rings. The story of Jesus. Oh yeah,
Robert, of course that would
I really
be your
like
favorite.
Robert that
I love
you gave us a warning before you gave us that answer. And I think that's really thoughtful of
He
you.
did?
Yeah, he was like, churchy answer coming.
Oh my gosh, I love you. I didn't see that. That's hysterical. I love it.
The Lottery by Shirley Jackson. Oh, what's his name? Someone who is sitting at their computer will find
I don't know this Roald Doll. I don't
Find the
know
name
that
of the
one. I'm gonna
author.
look it up.
the book Anxious People. It's Frederick something. Someone will find his name. Anxious People. Best book I've read in a decade. So good. What?
Good Mark, are you just full of it, or are you like actually giving us history here? I think you're full of it.
It's a war game.
I thought you were gonna say Spider-Man, Pops.
Oh, Tarzan. My dad used to read me Tarzan when I was a little tiny baby. Read it to me in one for my bedtime story. Story of my life. Mark,
What is happening, Mark? Mark.
blink twice if you
What is Palm Springs bag you're
need
wearing?
something, Mark.
I like that one too.
Okay.
I'm making
Oh.
us a pile.
Oh, I do. I really like this one. No shock. The most unexpected compliment I've ever received. ... The first thing that comes to my mind on this is someone once told me that I had the greenest eyes they'd ever seen, and I don't think of myself as a green-eyed person. And so that was literally the most unexpected.
If you
I was
don't
like,
even think you have green eyes, and then you're told you have the greenest eyes,
I did not expect it.
that would be
It
unexpected.
was very unexpected. I went,
Weird.
thank you. I still remember it many
Okay,
years later.
I'm gonna share my unexpected one, and it's also my least favorite thing that people ever say. And I have a hard time explaining why, but I can't stand it. It's unexpected when people call me sweet. You're so sweet. It's a compliment, right? Does it feel like a compliment?
Well, you're so sweet.
Oh, you're so sweet.
It feels always kind of low-key condescending, doesn't it?
Thank you.
Yeah.
It does, and especially when it comes after something that like I'm like, no, I'm not being sweet. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm not being
aren't you
sweet.
It feels a little bless your hearty.
I don't like it. And also, I'm not sweet.
Sweet.
And I just hate that word. Sweet.
I'm having a lot of fun
And I hate
saying
the
it.
idea of it. Like sweet for me feels like nice, you know.
To be fair,
I want to be kind. I don't want to be sweet.
most of the
You're
time.
so sweet.
Yeah, most of the time if I'm using it,
You're so
I'm
sweet.
being kind of a dick. If I'm using that, usually it's like, oh, sweetie. Like I'm not using it in a nice way.
I'm so sorry to anyone out there who has said that to me. Now I'm being a total jerk
You
about
were the
it.
one who meant it for real in the
Yeah.
nice way.
I
Yeah.
just have a problem with that word, I think.
Now we know.
And it's unexpected when dealing with this. Anyway.
Let's see, what do we got? When we lived in England, someone told Stephen he was a quintessentially friendly American. I was offended at first, and then they were serious, and it was a compliment. Oh, I would have had the same emotional trajectory. I would have been like, oh no. I'm always apologizing when I'm in other countries for being American. That's like my posture is apologetic. I'm
This
sorry.
makes me laugh really hard. I don't know why, but it's really funny to me. It's an unexpected compliment.
Congratulations.
Okay, Robert's got a story. I love a story that I love an answer to the question that comes with the story. I just moved to San Francisco, feeling lonely and depressed, decided to walk to the grocery store in my favorite boots to cheer myself up. A woman in the passing car rolled down her window and yelled, "Nice boots, baby!" It was the best thing that happened to me that year.
That's so nice.
Fantastic story.
Good boots. Ben and I were sitting at a table.
Aw, I love that, Paul.
Sorry, Paul. We'll read your Paul's.
It's great.
Aw, I'm sure you're lovely at that, Paul. That makes me happy. I want to come see you. Ben and I were sitting at a table last night, and this woman who had a margarita in hand and like a posse behind her came up to us, and she goes, "Oh, Ben, I love your..." not Ben. She didn't know his name, but she goes, "Oh, I love your watermelon shirt. Oh, I love your hat. Oh, I love your earrings. Oh, I love your dress. Oh, wow." And just like every piece of everything that we were wearing, she was just like, "I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this." And then she just walked away, and we were like, "Wow, thank you." But it was like
Hilarious.
It was like a compliment assault.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember that night that you were wearing really amazing boots and I was wearing really amazing boots and we kept getting, "Oh my god, I love your boots," and then, Oh my god, crap! I meant that person,
Yeah.
and it kept switching back and forth who they originally meant, and then they hopped onto the other person.
We would
and
both
just
just
we both
assume
were
it was
like,
us and be like,
"Mhm."
thank you.
We know
And
it's
they're like,
for both
oh, I
of us.
wasn't talking to you. I was talking to her. Oh, yours are good too.
Yeah, some people were like just correcting it and
Yeah.
leaving it corrected of like, no, I didn't mean you, I meant you.
Those boots are better.
Some people were like, oh my god, both of you, and it was a fun night.
We should
Last
hang out
week
with
at
Robert.
Starbucks drive-through, I go a lot. The barista said there was no way I looked 55 as she handed me the free drink.
Oh, put Matthews up because it's great.
A reviewer just called my new song country disco, and that was the descriptor I didn't know I needed for my music. I love it.
That makes me so happy.
It's so great. I also like that Stephen asked Robert, "Is that how you met Michelle?"
Nice boots, baby.
Nice boots. I can just
Can we
hear
all-
Michelle
can we
rolling
all-
down her window. Nice boots, baby.
Can we all just agree to greet Robert like that from now on?
Yes.
Everyone, the next time you see Robert, just be like, nice boots, baby.
Especially if he's wearing slippers.
Yep.
Ooh, hi, Andy. In a Cracker Barrel, I haven't been to a Cracker Barrel in years. In Utah, at least 3 older couples walked up to our fam of 4 and complimented how great our kids are.
Nicest when people compliment you and your kids. That's really great.
See, okay, I agree. That's the
And?
sane response. So I have the same response to being complimented on my kids as I do to being called sweet.
It feels like someone's calling you a nice little well-behaved housewife.
Yeah, and like your kids are great because they happen to in this moment be matching what you
Yeah.
believe they should
They're
be acting
living
like.
up to society's
Yeah.
standards for greatness.
And I'm like, you should see them in 5 minutes, is what I always want
No.
to say. To
I'm an Enneagram 3, so I love it. If you compliment me on how my kids are behaving in public, then I'm like, yes, I have taught
I
them
win.
how to win at being in public. Look at me go. You can so direct all of those to me. Just put them over here. You can compliment me on her children too if you want. I'll take it. What else we got?
When someone thought you were 10 years younger. That's fun.
Unless he was 20 years old.
Compliments can be complicated.
Compliments
That's
can be
right,
complicated.
Shane. They can.
I have people tell me how tall I am all the time, and I never know if it's a compliment or not. It's just a statement of
Yeah,
fact.
those ones that are just facts. that
Wow,
are
you're
like,
tall.
Yes, thank you. Do you just respond? Thank you.
You should be like,
Sometimes
wow,
I go,
you're
I
tall.
am, because
Yeah.
it's fun.
Unexpected, though.
No, that's the most
Yeah.
expected thing for anyone to say. Y'all would be. It is unexpected for other people how often it happens. Like like I literally have someone tell me how tall I am a couple times a week. Like, it is not a rare occurrence. It is at least once a week out in public by a
What
stranger.
is that? Why is that so common?
People just feel compelled to point it out. I don't think so, but
I don't think
you're
tall people
Tall
call
people
other
don't,
tall
right.
people tall.
Unless we're just excited that we get to hug somebody that's tall, then that's always a good thing. That's the only time I really point it out in a camaraderie sort
Remember
of
the
way.
other night when I was like, "You're tall, fix this for me," and then I climbed on a thing and fixed it instead.
Yeah, which is nice. And a lot of times it is in that context of like, oh wow,
Yeah,
you're
I
tall.
need you.
And then can you come over here and do this?
Can you
Yeah.
do this for me?
Do you play basketball? No. Some tall people are bad at basketball. This is getting too deep into my stuff. Can we-
Anyway, let's do one more collective conversation thing.
Yeah,
Which one
great.
of these?
You pick one. See if you can figure out which one makes me go meh.
Yeah, I actually really want to do that guessing game. Okay, hold on a second because I have to do a guessing game with Karen really quick. Just like talk amongst yourselves. This one?
Yep. Damn it.
So guess what we're gonna do? Because I won the guessing game.
Ah.
Is that too mean?
No,
Is
no, no,
it
no,
too
no, no,
icky?
no, it's
Okay. Is it too mean? Because I'm okay being a little bit mean to you.
I
right now,
have
but-
coffee. I'm fine.
I'm particularly stubborn about ...
So many things.
Does it make you because it's any kind of confessional and that's the or is it particularly the stubbornness?
Oh
thing?
no,
You know what I mean?
it is particularly the stubbornness thing.
Because you've got a relationship to being stubborn.
I do. I have a whole relationship to being stubborn.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
I knew this was coming, and I
Apparently
wasn't
it's a
sure who it would
relationship
be.
that Steven
but-
understands.
I was waiting for that. Well, I'm not
Mhm.
stubborn. I'm particularly stubborn about. See, it's asking what you're particularly stubborn
I
about.
can't be
though, so-
talked out of things. That's what I'm particularly stubborn about.
Oh.
If I've decided that something is shitty, it's shitty. If I've decided that I'm sad, I'm sad. If I've decided that there's no, like, you can't use logic and reason to cheer me out of a situation or to correct. You can use other tactics. You can get under it with distraction and humor, but there is no, like, if I decide that for whatever reason I should be embarrassed about my presence in a room. Right. If I decide, like, nope, this room doesn't like me, no amount of you being like, of course they do. You're wonderful. You're beautiful. You're perfect is going to convince me that my story that I'm
Are you
telling
shaking
myself
your
is
head
wrong.
like a me too shake your head? Or
Yeah, Matthew's agreeing with me, which is fun. Yeah. So that is the thing I'm particularly stubborn about. My right to feel inferior and broken.
My right to feel inferior and my right to feel
No
inferior.
amount of cheering will cheer me.
Yep.
Nope. Well,
Samesies. I can't point, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
God, I
I
love
don't
being
like
told
anyone
what to
tell
do.
me what to do.
So everyone come and tell me what to do. I'll take the compliments on the kids and the instructions. This is great.
Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Evelyn helped Susan with her laundry and she found out she's stubborn about how she folds things.
Me too. I don't let other people fold my laundry because
Oh
I'm
my
very
gosh,
particular.
Laura, I love you so much. Samesies. Brooke, people taking their shoes off in my house. Hey, you know what? Some of these aren't being stubborn. They're just your values and commitments.
I have a boundary about shoes in my
Yeah.
house.
Question, 'cause for that reason.
Same. Which I think is connected, right? People who are very passionate about their values
Yeah.
and their commitments.
No, mine's
Maybe
just
like,
being
well.
stubborn. Mine is not I'm not passionate about being inferior. Just stubborn about
Robert,
it.
you crack me up. Coding standards.
I like that. Someone should be, right? I feel like there's coding standards for a reason.
Exactly. See, I keep feeling like all these responses are just standards. You
Yeah.
people just have good standards.
Right.
All right. Well, this has been
Yeah,
another
what's the
collective conversation
We're not-
confessional. What's the what?
Oh, well, I was gonna ask a follow-up question, but we're
No,
moving.
I want to know.
Oh, I was just gonna say, so, like, the follow-up question is, what's the thing that you're stubborn about that, like, it's not a good thing if you win? You know what I mean? Because, like, if you're stubborn about coding
Yes, like
standards, you're
yours.
gonna-
Yeah. Well,
Like-
that's a good way to say it.
if you win, if you get your way, it's actually not benefiting you or anybody. Like, that's my food for thought as we move on.
Goodbye.
If you're lost and lonely, go and figure out why. And take a trip to your dark side. Go on and have a good cry. 'Cause we're all lonely. We're all lonely together. Bouncing to it, but I wanna see your sadness. Wanna share your sins. This is country disco. Wanna bleed your blood. I wanna be let in. Don't you just, don't we all just wanna be together? Constantly, what's heavy? What's heavy behind? Why don't you leave what's heavy? What's heavy behind? face is down. Take a look around. Do your fingers move? Do your lungs inflate? Are you tired? Are you weary of the hidden hate you've been holding? Hey, hey, did you lose that love or have you never had it? Are you feeling sad because you did a bad thing? Hey, what's heavy? What's heavy behind? Leave what's heavy. What's heavy behind? I figure since we did the country disco for that part, now we'll go back to regular.
I like it. It's a wild ride.
Are you feeling fearful, brother? Are you feeling fearful, sister? The only way to lose that fearful feeling, replace it with love and healing. Are you feeling fearful, brother? Are you feeling fearful, sister? Leave what's heavy. What's heavy behind? Leave what's heavy. What's heavy behind? Won't you leave it? Leave what's heavy. What's heavy behind? Come on and leave what's heavy. What's heavy behind? What now? Oh, Kids Corner?
Hi! We haven't done Kids Corner in a really long time, and I realized that and was like, we should correct that because Kids Corner is amazing. Because kids' books are amazing. And even when there's no kids here, we're all kids. And for me, children's books are a spiritual practice to speak to my inner child. And this book is one of my faves for that, so I wanted to share it with you this morning. It's called What Do You Do with a Chance? One day, I got a chance. It just seemed to show up. It acted like it knew me, as if it wanted something. I didn't know why it was here. What do you do with a chance? I wondered. It fluttered around me. It brushed up against me. It circled me as if it wanted me to grab it. I started to reach for it, but I was unsure and I pulled back, and so it flew away. I thought about it a lot. I wished I had taken my chance. I realized I had wanted it, but I still didn't know if I had the courage. When another chance came around, I wasn't so sure, but I decided to try. I wish you could see the pictures better. This book is gorgeous. I went to reach for it, but I missed and I fell. I was embarrassed. I felt foolish. It seemed like everyone was looking at me. I decided I never wanted to feel this way again. So after that, whenever a chance came along, I ignored it. And the more I ignored them, the less they came around. Until one day, I noticed that I hadn't seen a chance in quite a while. It was as if they had all disappeared, and I started to worry, what if I never get another chance? I know I acted like I didn't care, but the truth was, I did. I still wanted to take a chance, but I was afraid. and I wasn't sure if I would ever be brave enough. Then I thought, maybe I don't have to be brave all the time. Maybe I just need to be brave for a little while at the right time. I realized it was up to me. I promised myself that if I ever got another chance, I wasn't going to hold back. If I got another chance, I was going to be ready. Then, one seemingly ordinary day, I saw something shining far off in the distance. Is it possible, I hoped? Could this be my chance? I had to find out. I ran as hard and as fast as I could toward it. I don't know how to explain it, but the second I let go of my fears, I was full of excitement. It wasn't that I was no longer afraid, but now my excitement was just bigger than my fear. As I got closer, I could see that this really was a huge chance. But this time I was ready. As it came by, I reached out and I grabbed it and I held on with all of my might. It felt so good to soar, to fly, to be free. I now see that when I hold back, I miss out, and I don't want to miss out. There's just so much that I want to see and do and discover. So what do you do with a chance? You take it, because it just might be the start of something incredible.
Taking chances. Lost in a weary traveler, searching for a way to go. Stranger, heavy-hearted, longing for someone you know. May you find a light. May you find a light. May you find a light to guide you home. There are weary travelers searching everywhere you go. Strangers who are searching long and deeply to be known. May you find a light. May you find a light. May you find a light to guide you home. Lost and weary traveler, searching for the way to go. Stranger, are you heavy-hearted, longing for someone you know? May you find a light. 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 May you find a light to guide you home. May you find a light to guide you home.
Hi. Thanks, Matthew. So this morning I want to talk about communion a little bit. Lately, I felt like we've been in kind of a communion, just, I don't know, flash through it real quickly. Sometimes we say a few words about it, but we move through the practice really quick. And I was thinking about that and how I wanted to be more intentional about it this morning. And so here's a little bit about that. So growing up, like a lot of you, I was always told that communion was about having a deep, deep reverence for the fact that I had been saved from sin and from myself and from the pits of eternal damnation, hell. And so we always came to the practice with such seriousness around that, and it was this feeling of needing to remember always that, it was like God was saying to me, now remember, I did this for you. I saved you from this thing. You deserve my punishment, my eternal punishment. But remember, I saved you from that. And so Jesus' words, every time you come to this, remember me, do this in remembrance of me, flipped from like remembering this beautiful human and collective space between humans who were doing something on planet Earth. It moved from remembering that to remember, you deserve to be punished, but I saved you. And that wasn't a thing to remember that did me any good ever. I can't think of a single good thing that came out of that remembrance, out of remembering that. In fact, it was pretty detrimental to my thriving and my showing up as a whole self on planet Earth. And yet we still do this ritual every Sunday at Sojo, and we've said a lot about that, about doing it differently. For me, personally, I realized that I often show up to communion with a lot of irreverence and goofiness, especially as we switched to not doing the bread and the cup anymore. And we do, ever since we moved to virtual world, we do whatever you have on hand, and it has like unleashed that extra. I bend towards in church going irreverent as in my coping mechanism and my subversiveness to the thing that hurt me, right? That's how I subvert it all, is to show up irreverent. It's just part of my personality. So I do that with communion a lot, and make it silly and make it just this quick, fun thing I show up to with my fiery self. And that's beautiful. I love that. I love that about me. I love that about us. I love that we do that. And I also know it's not the only way to heal. And I was thinking this morning about how I'm in a place in my life where I need deep, intentional, serious spiritual practice more than ever. And so I really wanted to show up in a different space today about communion and just take it seriously. But I wanted to name that I'm not normally like that and just say, this is what I wanted to do this morning. And I was thinking about that whole remembrance thing. And Jesus saying, take these elements and remember me, and how that got turned into a remembrance of you're supposed to be punished. And how that just couldn't possibly be true. No matter what words you find were recorded about what Jesus said, it couldn't possibly be the true story, because it didn't have anything to do with what was going on when Jesus sat there and said those words. What was going on was a community that they had built with blood, sweat, and tears. What was going on was sitting around the table together, dining and connecting. What was going on was a lot of shared pain and anguish over what was happening to them in their daily lived lives. A lot of things were happening, but it wasn't, you're supposed to be punished, remember. So I was thinking about that and how I want to get back to that remembering. Like, I do want to do that. I want to sit with this practice and I want to remember. And so I asked, what do I need to be reminded of? And this is what today came up for me. It's a prayer by Sarah Bessey from her book, A Rhythm of Prayer. And it is called A Reminder. So as we take the bread element today, whatever you have as your bread element, this is our prayer for that. And we'll do one for the cup as well. So this is called A Reminder. And I needed this reminder today so badly, and I figured if I did, you might too. So here it is. You don't have to be productive, and you don't have to change the world. You're already so loved. You don't have to be smart. You don't have to be simple. You don't have to read all the right books by the right people. You're already so loved. You don't have to be beautiful and thin with articulated and ironic fashion sense. Not at all. But if you're into that kind of thing, great. That's okay too. You don't have to be healthy in your mind or your body. You don't have to be in full-time vocational ministry. You can watch horrible television, or you can be proud of your televisionless home. You can be artistic or scientific. You can spend your life traveling to meet beautiful people, or you can live and die in the town where you were born. You don't have to conform to someone else's ideas of holy or acceptable. You can be from the wrong side of the tracks or the gated community, suburbs or urban or rural. You can work with your hands, your mind, your back, or your brain. You don't have to be educated. Not at all. You don't have to have a degree or letters after your name. You don't have to know the right people and boast a carefully curated Instagram feed with the famous and the beautiful and the influential. You don't have to be conservative, and you don't have to be liberal. You don't have to identify with certain political persuasions or ideology. Not on sexuality or science or socioeconomics or foreign policy. You can be a social justice warrior or, not. None of that moves the meter of your belovedness. God just won't say, okay, now I love her just a bit more because look, she's finally out of debt or thin or powerful or influential or tireless. Your family story can be beautiful or terrible, or like most of us, a bit of both. Perhaps you are famous or well-known or influential. That's okay. Perhaps you're quiet and unknown. Maybe you hate that. Maybe you love it. You don't have to be a mother or a father. You don't have to be married. You don't have to be single. You don't have to want children or raise children. You don't have to be sober or clean. You don't have to give away everything you own or take a vow of poverty. You don't have to be prosperous either. Church or no church, or a certain kind of church only, whatever. You can doubt or feel great certainty. You can believe in God, doubt God, seek God. You can be someone well acquainted with unanswered prayers. You can carry chronic pain or dance through life. You can be introverted or extroverted. You don't have to love yourself or even like yourself. You are loved. Whether your life looks well put together from the outside while hiding a hot mess inside, or vice versa, sometimes on the same day, you are loved. Morning lark, night owl, sinner, saint, child of God, siblings, all of us, we are loved. You have nothing to prove. You have nothing to earn. And sure, any one of those things might change because you are loved. You may know already where God wants to breathe change and wholeness into you, bringing your life more into line with the person you were meant to be all along. Because love can and does and will transform us in every way. Our ideology, our opinions, our habits, our values, our priorities, our very names. But it's not a prerequisite or a requirement. It's not behavior modification. It never is not for love. Love has happened and is happening, and it will happen. It is kind and patient towards you. You're already so loved. You aren't earning a breath of love or tenderness more than what you already have just by breathing, just by existing, just by being here in the wonder. Your name is already written in the lines of the hands of the universe. Your star breath of dust in your beloved, intimately, faithfully holy. It's your lifelong rock. That you are known and you are loved with delight and abundance, with choice and desire, with covenantal love. You may feel it or not, you are so loved. You are so loved. You are so loved. That's what I feel like remembering today. I don't know about you. I don't have any interest in remembering punishment or control, but just that we are loved. And also I have a berry-filled donut, so take and eat and remember. That reading meditation thing we did earlier. Laura, I saw your message. No, I did not write that. That's John O'Donohue. That's why it's so beautiful and breathtaking. It comes from a book that he calls To Bless the Space Between Us. I find that phrase to be the best phrase that's ever existed. And also what we're doing here and what I'm talking about. Communion is to bless the space between us. I think that's what Jesus actually meant, if I can say what I think Jesus actually meant. Let's take this and bless the space between us. So now we're going to do the cup. And I have one more prayer for you for that. Prayer, blessing, reading, meditation, thingy, a bob. See, we're still irreverent even when we're being reverent. This is also in Sarah's book that she curated, A Rhythm of Prayer, but it is written by Amina Brown. She said, "How do you know when you are hearing from God?" I didn't know how to explain. It is to explain the butter grit of cornbread to a mouth that just discovered it has a tongue. The sound of jazz to ears that only ever thought they'd be lobes of flesh. The sight of sunsets to blinded eyes that in an instant can see, to fail at the ability to give words to how the scent of baked bread can make the mind recall a memory, every detail of a house, a room, a kitchen, a conversation, like explaining to a newborn baby, this is what it is to feel like you're being held. My words never felt so small, so useless, so incapable. I wanted to say, put your hand in the middle of your chest, feel the rhythm there. I wanted to say, you will find the holy text in so many places, on crinkly pages of scripture, in dusty hymnals, in the creases of a grandmother's smile. The way she clasps her hands, the way she prays familiar with reverence as if to dignitary and friend, the way she sings a simple song from her spirit and porches turn to cathedrals. I learned from my great-grandmother how to pray, how to talk to God, how to listen, watching her and the other silver-haired church mothers gather in her living room, worn, wrinkled hands on top of leather Bibles, well-traveled. They prayed living room prayers because you don't have to be inside four walls of a church to cry out to God who made you, because no matter where you sing or scream or whisper, God's ears can hear you. And despite what the laws say or what our human flaws say, God's ears don't play favorites. God's ears don't assess bank accounts or social status before they attune themselves to the story your tears or your fears are telling. God's ears are here for the babies, for the immigrant, for the refugee, for the depressed, for the lonely, for the dreamers, the widow, the orphan, the oppressed, and the helpless, those about to make a mess or caught in the middle of cleaning one up. Dirt don't scare God's ears. God is a gardener. God knows things can't grow without sun and rain and soil. I want to tell her to hear God. You will have to be willing to experience what's holy in places that many people will deem to be not sacred. That sometimes God sits next to you on a bar stool, spilling truth to you like too many beers. That God knows very well the dance we'll do when we love ourselves so little that just about anyone will do. That God cares about the moments we find ourselves on the edge of a cliff, on the edge of sanity, on the edge of society, even when we have less than an inch left of the thread that's been holding us together. I want to tell her God is always waiting, lingering after the doors close and the phone doesn't ring and we are finally alone. God is always saying, I love you, I am here, don't go, stay, please. I try to explain how God is pleading with us to trust, to love, to listen. God's voice is melody and bass lines and whisper and thunder and grace. And sometimes when I pray, I think of her, how the voice of God was lingering in her very question. How so many of us, just like her, just like me, just like you, are still searching, still questioning, still doubting. I know I don't have all the answers, I know I never will. That sometimes the best thing we can do is put our hands in the middle of our chest and feel the rhythm there. Turn down the noise in our minds and our lives and whisper, God, whatever you want to say, I'm here, I'm listening. You are so, so loved. Yeah. Your song, your last song.
Well, see how I can participate.
I just changed the song on Karen just now. Because we did an Over the Rhine song earlier, Born, and I love that band so much. And as Kate was reading, especially that second prayer, the first one was like the commentary or the exegesis of Mary Oliver's Wild Geese, right? Like it was just like very much this is what I mean by you do not have to be good. I loved that. And then the second one just reminded me so much of this song, Jesus in New Orleans, that we're both pulling up and typing right now, which is why I'm talking.
Strangely.
Yes, with large breaks between my voices.
Which is why I sound
Like this.
riveting entertainment for y'all, I'm sure.
And we haven't done this since like one of the very early heathen happy hours, so forgive us, but I feel like I wanted to do it.
I'm excited to hear how this song goes.
You'll remember it. It'll fall right back into
I'm
your
sure it will.
bones. The last time I saw Jesus, I was drinking Bloody Marys in the South, in a barroom in New Orleans, rinsing out a bad taste in my mouth. She wore a dark and faded blazer with a little of the lining hanging out. When the jukebox played Miss Dorothy Moore, I knew that it was him without a doubt. I said the road's been my redeemer. I never know just what on earth I'll find. Yeah, you got it. In the faces of a stranger, the dark and weary corners of my mind. She said the last highway is only as far away as you are from yourself. No matter just how bad it gets, it does no good to blame somebody else. Ain't it crazy what's revealed when you're not looking all that close? Ain't it crazy how we put to death the ones we need the most? I feel like this is definitely not my key. I know I'm not a martyr. I never died for anyone but me. The last frontier is only the stranger in the mirror that I see. When I least expect it, here and there I see my Savior's face. Yeah, he's still my favorite loser, falling for the entire human race. Oh yeah, ain't it crazy all that's revealed when you're not looking all that close? Oh yeah, ain't it crazy how we put to death
Thanks for going on that little journey with me.
It's exciting.
I love a last second song change. It's the best. All right. Love y'all. You know how we do. This is how we wrap up every week. What? Someone will have our backs.
Somebody,
Song is pretty.
People are still
The song is
wowing, so they need a second. Susan!
Because you're a child of God. I like how our intonations were kind of all down middle.
Yeah, that was a little flawed.
And fun. You're a
Oh,
child.
no,
of
that was
God.
another big grave.
Be brave.
Read the next one.
Yeah. Because you are a child of God.
There we
God, are
go.
Because so is
everyone
everyone
else. Love y'all.